Welcome to OZ TV. Here we talk about everything that you need to know. We talk about family, we talk about relationships, we talk about children, homes. We talk about virtually everything. So I want you to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell for more videos coming up, and watch out for a new show coming up called Spit It All. Thank you.
I said I was saying this earlier that there might be scenarios you got married to your wife and your wife is the next of kin, right? Before you got married to her, it might be your dad or your brother or your sister. But when you get married, you change it, it now becomes your wife. Now, do you know it gets to a point, after 10, 15, 20 years of marriage, you put your kids or your son as the next of kin. Now, in a scenario where you're running a joint account with your wife and your next of kin is your son, when you pass on, the money in that joint account goes to your next of kin, not even your wife that you're sharing it with. That's one of the disadvantages of the joint account as well. It now goes down to law. It's not about the matter of fact, but I was seeing to this, well, I was once signing this, we both opened it together, I was putting my own amount of money into it. Even if your money was in there, the whole money now becomes what?
For the children.
For the children or for the child, the next of kin.
And they have to wait till the child is
18, yeah.
So it's like the money is just
being safeguarded for the kids.
It's just there.
So you all have to know what you both want. As your partner, you have to have these regular conversations. Sit yourselves down. Oh, baby, I just changed next of kin now. It's now our first son. Let us see reasons to that. This is the reason why I did that. This is the reason why I did. Doesn't mean okay, but if anything, God forbid, anything happens to me, it goes to him. But you should know how to guide him through. You guys should, you should always, that step. Always take your wife, carry your wife along. Even if when you have that joint account, when you go out today, you spend this amount of money. You can come maybe this is what I spent today. Okay, this is what I spent today. Just try and have that understanding. It will help.
There are some men that tend to see it this way, just like what you're saying. If I begin to call her now, she might kill me now so that she will take everything.
True. That's true.
There are some men too. There are some women too. Hearing it, they'll begin to think otherwise and begin to find a way to make away with those things since they are now in charge. And there are some men too. The moment a woman asks them that question about this joint account, who is the next of kin, who did you put in this thing? Did you do a will? They will say, do you want to kill me?
That's African mentality. That's again.
You don't want to kill me. That's why you're asking the question. In fact, you'll call village meeting for you. And there are some women, the moment the man begins to tell her, I changed the next of kin now. Hey, this one you're telling me you want to die? Is it that you want to die? Some of them even get into fear and begin to go to prayer houses and say, I don't know why you're telling me. Is it in everything? There are people's reaction to things are different. They varies.
That's really funny. You want to die, you want to kill me. Wow. Okay. So basically, this joint account thing, my own concern with this joint account thing is that most women don't really, or most men, let me not say women, most men don't really educate their self and their spouse. They don't get the whole full education. There are some people that are married to uneducated people and they don't really read the fine print. There are some things that you need to know when you want to open up a joint account, but they don't tell you because you don't ask questions.
You have to go through the legal.
She understand, yeah. You don't ask questions, and there are some things like you mentioned now that the next of kin is different from the signatory.
Yeah.
You understand? This is like something that a lot of people are not aware of. As long as they are signing those checks, they believe they are the ones in charge. She understands. So when when something of a sort happens and then you're telling them that this is not the way it is done, that the next of kin is the child that is like 10 years, they're like, are you okay? Are you getting me? What are you talking about? So where am I supposed to get the money to train these children?
Also, we're just going
You
to.
understand?
Yeah.
So in such cases that you have, people don't plan, you can't plan for these things, but they just happen. So in a situation whereby a man puts the child as the next of kin, but the wife as a signatory to an account, and then he passes on, and the wife is a housewife that doesn't know anything, doesn't know her left from her right. The only thing she knows to do is just to sign that check. So what happens?
Some people at the initial time, the moment the man died, in some areas, we don't want to make it public that the man is dead. At that initial time, they wouldn't want everybody to know that the man is dead. And at that time, like you said, smart ones will want to sign the check and move the money from that account immediately. They want to clear that money in that account at once, so that they will not know that the owner of the account is dead. Since she's the sole signatory to it, she will want to play a fast one. Some people in the bank will not go to tell the bank that the owner of this account,
The joint owner
is dead at that time. You understand me? They will play that smart one and keep it to themselves and still be running the account normally the way it is being done. You understand me? Now, in a case where you get to let the bank know the owner of this account, it has procedures. There will be letter of administration, death certificates, you'll go to court, the moment you get the letter of administration, you go to court to declare. So it takes a lot of time. It's not something that you will go and get immediately. It's something that takes process. The moment it's done, you can have access to the money in that account. Not like you won't be able to have the money, have access to it, but it takes process.
Yeah, like I said, I have an uncle of mine who was working with a company, and when he passed on, there's a certain amount of money, millions, that they were supposed to pay him, but he made sure he made 2 signatories to the money, and that was his first son, whom he had with another woman, and his first daughter from his wife. So, but it took time before both parties could agree on how to split the money between all the kids and all that. So it took about like 6 to 10 years or so before they get the money. So
such things take time, actually.
A lot.
So I think we need to get educated on how all these things work, so that you don't get shot on the leg when you're doing a joint account, with your spouse.
Ask necessary questions.
You need a legal advisor, and carry your spouse along. And even when we talk about this joint account mustn't necessarily be just for you and your wife. You can open a joint account with your kids. You can open a joint account with your adult kids. Even adult kids open joint accounts with their parents, their aged parents, to help them manage their funds because they're old.
Yeah.
Open a joint account with your kids and let them know how to manage funds. Teach them.
How to set funds aside for different projects and stuff.
But I think our focus mainly now is on wife.
Husband and wife, no problem.
But then, that is equally okay when you do it within the children and the parents and whoever is involved.
The truth is that women tend to be more protective of money than men. Especially when they bring in the bulk of the money, when they bring in part of the money to their account. They tend to be more protective, and they are the ones who ask more questions.
Yes, because they are always on the receiving side.
Exactly.
They manage that money. If anything goes wrong, they tend to. If a woman that knows how to manage money very well, you see that she grows the money.
Yes.
She doubles it. She
doubles it.
So what she's trying to protect is for the rainy day, just in case something happens. There's something we can fall back on.
So you think the man cannot do that?
No, a man at times,
very rare.
See, a man is prone to several this thing out there, from pressure,
expenditures, expenses.
Let me tell you, from any family. Example, the first sons, the first person they will pick up the phone to call, bam, brother, so and so, and they're expecting brother to take action before other people begin to take action.
Yeah.
So So a man, when you have, that is why you see, most of the time, when a man is always, some women, when a man is always spending for maybe his family, spending, you see some women will begin to raise their eye.
Start frowning at
it. Why are you always doing this? And it tends to cause problems in families. Because the man will begin to say it, you're not allowing me to do this one for my family. You're not allowing me to do that one for my family. But the truth remains, if the man makes this thing to be in equilibrium, this person gets this and those people get that. You are not trying to say my family has more benefit than your own family. After all this or after all that, you just make it. The woman, except that the woman is a devil, born from devil, that she will now come and see that this man is doing this thing for things to get better, and the woman will now begin to frown at what you're doing and begin to tell you. Even the Bible said the devil will stand at your right hand. Wait.
I'm
Because
standing by the right hand.
that's not what I mean. Because the time is coming. Most of the time, I'm not saying in all, I repeat, not all. Most of the time, the people you help tend to help you back when things get bad or when your children begins to grow and need help. But sometimes it does not happen that way. That you're doing for this person, that the person will do for you. Most of the time does not happen that way. That's why women tend to protect.
True.
That's why they tend to protect, because they have children. Their children are growing.
Most of the time,
and they also hide funds more as well.
Yes, because for rainy days. You'll be surprised that you come and say, "Man, I'm flat broke, I do not have," and your wife that really doesn't do anything would bring out 20,000 or 50,000 and say, "Honey, I'll take."
Because she's been saving.
And you've been wondering, why did you? And then she remind you, that money you gave her like 3 months ago, or like 2 months ago. She's actually been keeping or stacking up somewhere. We weren't actually very good at it.
I have a friend of a man gave me a testimony. We're at the airport actually, waiting for flight. So we got talking, and the man gave me testimony of his wife. In fact, I admired the way this man presents his wife. He said, "My wife is not too on earth. My wife is not this." I was looking at him. I said, "Hey, who is this wife becoming?" You see, the way he's talking, you know that this man does not have any space to look at any other woman. If there's any woman around, just playing with you. You understand me? The way he's speaking, I said, I asked him a question. I said, the way you carry your wife, she must have made an impact in your life. He said, too much.
Oh, nice.
He said he was actually building. Got to a point, the building hoped, no way. And the wife is doing small business. He sees it as small business, but never knew that business was giving the wife money, and this woman was busy saving. He said, but one thing he did is, upkeep, he must give to her. School fees, house rent, and all that. Before they built their own house, he was up to his game as the man. And from the money he gives to woman for the monthly allowance for upkeep in the house, the woman was also saving from there. He said when the house hooked, he needed 20 million to complete what he was doing. He said the wife was looking at him, he would not sleep in the night. He was stunning and all that. The wife called him, woke him up and said, "Honey, I don't need to die for me. It was so important to me. What is the problem?" He said, "I need 20 million and I've gone to bank. Bank said I should bring collateral. That's why they need collateral to be able to give me the money and all that. So I am thinking of using so of our house, so place to give them so that I can be able to lay hands on that money and all that." He said, bank. He said, "When are you going back to that bank?" He told the wife, "I'll go back to the bank on Thursday." So he said, after discussing with the woman kept quiet. That time, this transfer thing had not started. The woman kept him quiet. In the morning on Thursday, he dressed up to go to the bank. The woman said, "Okay, let me escort you to the car." Escorted him to the car, brought out a check of 20 million and gave him. The man said he knelt down in the compound, shedding tears, looking at her. You know, asked her, "How did you raise the money?" He said, "All the money you've been giving me, I don't spend much. You take care of my bills. You do this for me. You do that for me. And I'll be keeping it. I know that a time will come when either you or I will need money."
Plus our business as well.
You understand me? He said, what you're doing is for the good of the family. Why won't I support you? He said, this man hell. They said that time he used to have 1,001 girlfriends. He told all of them, everybody.
Back
Go. This impact did a 360 turnaround in that man's what? Life. Do you understand me? So the main thing is what you're saying. Women tend to protect because of the rainy day, because there is tomorrow.
It may not make sense now.
It will not always be rosy. There will be a time that there will be a kind of it, and most of those shit comes to promote you the more. He said from there, he now told the woman, that's nothing you're doing. What was the woman doing? Baking. He bakes cake for people. He said, this morning I want to build this thing for you. A big factory for you, so that you can be able to have where you bake this cake, do all manner of this. Woman now told the husband, this is my idea. He said, on doing that for the wife multiplied that money.
Because it was the case.
Do you understand me? So every woman tends to, that is why it is only a woman that can incubate. It's only a woman, when she incubates, she protects.
Not all women do.
Not all women do.
Incubate, I mean.
Yes.
Incubate, I mean, is
Most of them.
pregnancy.
Some just want to spend. Some just
That's
want
my
that
area.
opportunity to spend.
Not all women.
Not all women.
build.
Yeah.
So women crash.
Crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
There are
let's-
some that, but women incubate. Incubating, I mean, is the incubating aspect. I mean, is pregnancy, delivery, grow, train. But it gets to a point. At that initial time, before you marry her, you should know her character.
Yes.
If you're in a relationship and she's always demanding for, and you still saw it and still say, I will go in, you should be able to know what you will see. Face. You understand me? You saw all the signs. So if you're carried away by love, marriage opened your eye. So you see all those things, but the truth is, a true woman incubates.
Sure.
A true woman reproduces. A true woman is the only one that want to protect. A true woman. I said a true woman. It's also applicable to men. So stop saying
A true man.
I'm joking at him.
a true man.
Why don't you blow your trumpet?
A true man also is the one that you will give 1 naira, and you know that 1 naira is going into the right source. It's not the one you give 1 naira and tomorrow you come back and begin story how the whole story happened, and you want another one from you. And by the time you know it, they ask you tomorrow, all the money you saved is gone, because you're trying to build the man to stand.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of today's episode of Joint Accounts. Okay. So guys, please make necessary inquiries about opening up a joint account with your spouse. Ask your questions. Know the pros and the cons in opening up the joint account if you are interested in having a joint account with your spouse. Okay, there should be some kind of an understanding in that aspect of opening up a joint account with your spouse. Okay, so
I wanted to ask a question before we go
yeah,
to each and every one of us. Do you have a joint account?
No, I don't.
I do.
Do you have a joint?
I
Do you
do.
have a joint account?
Do you have a joint account?
There you go, viewers.
Do you have a joint account?
I'm not up to that stage to have a joint account yet.
What do you mean?
I'm still building my funds. They're not big enough to be in a joint account.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. So you have it. So please stay tuned and join us next time when we bring you another beautiful episode on Spinning On. Bye bye.